All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We know you're busy and you want to get to the core of things quickly.
Absolutely.
Today, we're going to untangle two concepts that often get muddled together:
Right.
quality assurance and quality control. We've got some great sources that draw a clear line between them.
Yeah.
And our mission right now is to help you grasp their distinct roles and how they intertwine to really make any quality-focused operation tick.
Yeah, you hear QA and QC, they kind of go hand in hand, but they really approach quality from two very different angles.
Yeah.
Let's start with quality assurance. QA, this is like the big picture, the system, the blueprint for stopping those problems before they even happen.
Right.
One of our sources defines it as a broad system of planned activities to provide confidence that quality requirements will be fulfilled. The key phrase there is being proactive, building quality in from the get-go.
I see. Planned activities
Yeah,
and building confidence. So it's not about fixing things gone wrong. It's about creating a system where things are less likely to go wrong in the first place.
exactly.
And this sounds pretty comprehensive. Our source mentions things like setting up the entire quality management system, documentation control, making sure people are trained, even thinking about your suppliers. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. QA is all about establishing and maintaining this infrastructure for quality.
Right.
So you have things like process validation, making sure your processes consistently give you the results you need. Like in pharmaceutical manufacturing, process validation is going to make sure that every batch of medication is consistently made to the exact specifications.
Right.
Then you have equipment qualification, making sure things are calibrated, internal audits, making sure everything's working, what we call KPA, or corrective and preventive actions,
Okay.
where if something does go wrong, you figure out how to fix it and then make sure it never happens again. Managing change, even management review. It's a system-wide deal, all about prevention and always getting better.
Okay, so QA is the proactive framework.
Yeah.
Now let's flip over to quality control, QC. The source defines this as specific activities and tests to verify and measure product process quality against standards. This is more in the moment, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly, yeah. QC is all about the product itself, making sure the product is good. It's what we call testing quality in, very reactive, looking to catch any defects that sneak into the final product or even at specific points during production.
Right, so if QA is preventing, QC is detecting.
Yeah.
Our source lists some QC activities, like
Mhm.
testing raw materials as they come in, checking quality mid-production. That's what they call in-process quality control, or IPQC.
Yep.
And then finally testing the finished product, making sure it's pure, it's what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely. QC uses validated analytical methods to make sure you're testing accurately, conducting inspections, taking samples, crunching the data, and making sure it all lines up with the standards you set. Then, based on all that, QC makes the call, does this product meet the standards and can we release it or do we reject it? Even stability testing, seeing how a product holds up over time, that falls under QC too. It's very hands-on, very technical, all about verification.
Okay, so we have QA building the system to prevent issues and QC checking the output to catch anything that slips through. How do these two actually work together?
Well, our source makes it pretty clear. QA sets up the system to prevent defects, while QC verifies the outcome. QA is broad, managed from the top down, while QC is specific and really focused on the technical details. But they are totally interconnected, and both are absolutely vital for achieving quality overall. You can't really have one without the other.
That makes a lot of sense. And the source uses this really great analogy about building a house to illustrate this. Can you explain that?
Sure. Think of QA as the whole blueprint of the house, making sure you are using quality materials, making sure the building methods are right, and making sure everything is up to code while it's being built. That's all about preventing problems. QC, on the other hand, that's like the final inspection when the house is finished, checking it against the blueprint, making sure everything was built according to those standards that were set from the start.
So QA is building it right from the start, and QC is the final check to make sure it was done correctly.
Exactly.
One is about the process, the other is about the product.
Yeah.
So for you, the listener, remember this. Quality assurance is that proactive, system-wide approach, building quality into your process.
Yeah.
Quality control is the specific testing and inspection to make sure your product meets the standards.
And this brings up a really interesting thought. If you invest heavily in a robust QA system, a system that really prevents defects, could you actually end up needing less QC? Think about that potential. Less time spent chasing errors, more efficient, and potentially even more room for innovation. Something to think about.
It really is. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.